Hey everyone! Welcome to a new series called Backlog Bingo with Nerd, where I clear my backlog while making it into a bingo board. I was inspired to make this after watching It's Gray Jay's series here on YouTube just about a month ago. That playlist is linked in the description if you want to check out their videos alongside this one. The backlog is something that has haunted me for years. Up until about 2024, I would buy a game that went on sale and then just never play it, and now I'm stuck with the consequences of that. Over 250 games sit currently on my backlog, so my goal is to clear as many games as I reasonably can. I can see you wondering right now, how exactly does a bingo board fit into all this? And don't worry, I have the answers. When I clear a game off my backlog, I can check a bingo card I made to see if we have any matches. Let's pull that up now. As you can see, we have 25 spaces. The middle spot is basically a free space, as I kinda couldn't make this video without finishing a video game, but everything else is completely random. While I did come up with all the spaces, I did not have a list of games I was planning to play when I created this bingo sheet or during the actual challenge, so there's no cheating. I just thought up some fun categories and then hoped a game would come along to clear a space. Some of these spaces are pretty self-explanatory, like a video game having a skill tree or being able to drive a vehicle in a game, but some of these are more specific to try and make this challenge much harder. As a final point before we begin, I was not lenient on these spots. That will be explained in more depth later, but just know that the game has to have a clear indication of clearing the spot on the card. If it's up to interpretation, I didn't count it. Now, with all that out of the way, what was the first video game I worked on for the Backlog Bingo with Nerd Challenge? Our first game up is Pocky & Rocky Reshrined for the PlayStation 4. Released in 2022, this game is a bullet hell style, and is kind of a mix between a remaster and a new game, with the first few stages being from the original 1992 Pocky & Rocky, but after that changes to a brand new story. To sum it up, Pocky is a shrine maiden and protects said shrine from evil monsters. There's been peace between her and the monsters for a long time, but one day, however, one of the monsters named Rocky asks for help, as his fellow monsters have been turned evil by someone. After figuring out the person is named Black Mantle, Pocky goes on a quest via time travel to stop them. I wish I liked this game more than I did. I mean, it has a cute art style and the music is pretty catchy, but this kind of genre just isn't for me. Wait a sec, isn't that on our bingo card? Let's look at it. Oh hey, it is! Let's cross that off along with the free space since I completed a game. Let's see, we can also cross off the grammatical error space due to this line from the game. Yikes. Ooh, another one we can cross off is eat food since Pocky can eat Dongo that's just lying on the floor for some reason. Who put that there? She's obviously an avid believer of the 5-second rule. Finally, I can see 2 more spots we can cross off. Physically in my collection and get a game over. Here's a game in physical form. It's actually pretty cool box art. And since this was my first bullet hell video game, I got quite a lot of game overs. And look at that, we already have 6 spots clear on the bingo card. I was not expecting Pocky & Rocky to clear so many spaces. Were you? Well, let's move on to the next game of the challenge to see if we can get a bingo this early on. Our second game up is Chroma Squad, a game released in 2015 about 5 actors who decide that they're tired of their previous director, and you know what? They choose to make their own TV show instead. I hadn't heard about this one until an RPG YouTuber I enjoy watching briefly mentioned Chroma Squad in one of their videos, and after checking it out on Steam, I quickly added it to my wishlist. Fast forward to a couple weeks later and it was on sale for only $3. I was chatting with a friend about it and they ended up gifting it to me on Steam. Thank you! So I knew I had to play it right away. Yes, technically Chroma Squad was not on the backlog as I played it almost immediately after receiving it, but can we just let this one slide? It was on the backlog for like 30 minutes, so that counts, right? Anywho, I ended up really enjoying my time with Chroma Squad. It's an underrated strategy RPG, and it was so cool to customize my characters with different playstyles. One of my characters was a healer, while another could use a giant axe and literally plow through the enemies, which was so funny and pretty cool to see. Another gameplay aspect I enjoyed was called teamwork, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Your teammates can work together to create combos to deal more damage to enemies, along with helping teammates move farther distances to reach those stubborn bad guys that are just slightly out of reach. It was awesome seeing the characters literally flipping around the stage and helping each other out. I'd highly recommend checking this one out, as the combat's really fun and the story is pretty unique. You won't see anything like this nowadays. Alright, let's turn our attention now to that bingo card. Did Chroma Squad help clear off any spaces? Well, looks like we can cross off 2 spots. The first one is breaks the 4th wall, as after the credits, one of the characters will talk to you, the player, about ending the game, and that definitely counts. The other one I'm going to cross off is Skill Tree. In Chroma Squad, after completing a chapter, also called Seasons in this game, your characters can unlock new skills and you can pick which ones they use. I'd say it's a skill tree, so I have no issues with crossing that one off. And that's going to be it for Chroma Squad. But before moving on to the next game, let's see what spots we need to cross off for a bingo. We have 2 areas that each need 2 spots to get a bingo. Let's start at that first row. We need to get Fall Off the Map and Can Take a Selfie to get a bingo. Those sound a little difficult to find, but maybe they'll be easier than I'm thinking. And the other area where we can get a bingo is in the 3rd column. We need Silly Attack / Damaging Move and Well-Known Voice Actor for this one. I think finding a well-known voice actor should be pretty easy, and I'm honestly shocked we haven't found any yet. But the spot about having a silly attack seems like the most difficult one yet. Maybe we'll get lucky and find a game that has both. Or maybe a different row or column will pop up. We have a lot to look forward to as we move on to the next game in this episode. The third game up is Katamari Damacy Reroll. I originally played its sequel, We Love Katamari, in 2025 without knowing it was a sequel. Yeah, I'm a little dumb. So imagine my shock when I figured out this game existed. I bought it on sale and it was a pretty quick playthrough, but it was honestly needed after doing a replay of a much larger game right before that. Katamari Damacy Reroll is a remaster of the original Katamari Damacy on PlayStation 2. You play as the prince, and it's up to you to roll up different objects on Earth with your ball called a Katamari. Why are we doing this? Well, the king of all cosmos decided to destroy all the stars in the solar system for some unknown reason, and by rolling up different objects we can make our own stars and save the galaxy. It's a pretty crazy concept for a video game, and I loved how weird it was. When I played the sequel in 2025, I couldn't put it down, and ended up getting the Platinum Trophy for it, so I knew I was going to have a good time with the first game too. When comparing it directly to We Love Katamari, there are some quality of life features missing that were added in the second game, and that ended up feeling pretty jarring to me on that first playthrough. I also noticed the level design wasn't as good compared to the second game, but a game series has to start somewhere. Despite my little complaints, I loved this game, and I'm currently attempting to get the Platinum Trophy for it too. It's such a funny game, and I want to keep playing games from this wacky series. Now, onto that bingo card. Seems like Katamari Damacy Reroll is going to help us clear off 2 spots. The first one that I see is Weird Gravity / Physics. And while the game doesn't have weird gravity, let's be honest, the physics in this game are pretty weird. Things go flying when you hit them with the Katamari, and you're rolling up literally everything. I'd say that qualifies. Besides that spot, I see one more we can clear off. Be able to swim is a really easy one to check off, as the game encourages you to roll your Katamari through the ocean, and even gives the prince a little snorkel when he's underwater. I'd say being able to walk underwater is kinda also more impressive than swimming underwater, so I feel good checking off this spot on the bingo card too. And with that, we're moving on to the final game of the video. Can this one give us that much needed bingo? Let's hope so. But if you're liking the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps me make more content just like this. Now, let's get back to that Backlog Bingo challenge. Our final game in this video is Astral Chain. Now, if you thought Chroma Squad shouldn't count for this video, I think this one will make up for that. Because Astral Chain has been sitting on my backlog for an eye-watering 6 years. Yeah, you heard that right. Look at my old save file. The last time I played it was January 1st of 2020, which is over 6 years ago at the time of me recording this. Astral Chain had always been a game I heard good things about, but just never got around to playing until I decided that this year I wanted to clear some games off the backlog. This 2019 release seemed like a good choice, since it had been sitting collecting dust for, 6 years, and after about 14 hours, I ended up finishing it. In short, you play as a police officer that has the power to summon what's called a legion. A legion is like a giant robot that the police officer can control via their arm. You and your legion have to stop these evil monsters called chimeras from destroying Earth, and while the game gets more detailed than that, that's all I'll say to avoid spoilers. Sadly, I ended up not enjoying Astral Chain, which just sucks. It's always disappointing when you hear how good a game is, then you finally get around to playing it and you just don't enjoy your time with it. I felt as though the story was pretty lackluster, and the combat was incredibly and unnecessarily complicated. Why does it take 4 separate button inputs to just do one attack? This isn't a fighting game. The forced puzzles and stealth segments felt way out of place as well for a game that boasts about how good its combat is. I wish the game developers would have stuck with just one big concept instead of trying to have a slice of every genre ever. While I wasn't a fan of Astral Chain, we still have a bingo card to check. Let's see if this game helped us out in any way. Let's see. We have a whopping 9 spots this game cleared. How in the world did that happen? I swear I wasn't cheating when I made this bingo card. You have to believe me. And oh my god, we have a bingo. Okay, let's clear off the spots that don't give us a bingo first, and then we'll save the best for last. To start, we have drive a vehicle in this game. There are 2 points in Astral Chain where the protagonist drives a motorcycle. Once at the very beginning, and another time near the very end of the game. I'd say a motorcycle counts as a vehicle, so that's an easy one to cross off. After that, we can cross off the well-known voice actor spot. This game boasts quite the roster of actors, with Alex Lee as the male protagonist, Elizabeth Maxwell as Alicia, and Cassandra Lee Morris as both Marie and Lappy. This group is definitely well known, so that's another easy spot to check off. The next 2 will check off at the same time, as they are extremely similar to each other. Clear a game that's set on the backlog for 3 years, and finish a game on Nintendo Switch. I think those spots are pretty self-explanatory. Our next square to check off is Stealth Segment, as weirdly enough, Astral Chain has a stealth segment in the second to last chapter of the game. The last square to cross off before heading to the bingo is character customization, since at the start of the game you can pick the protagonist's hair design, hair color, and eye color. I'd say that's a customizable character right there. Okay, now to the squares that you guys actually care about because they give us a bingo. The first one to cross off is for taking a selfie, which you can do in Astral Chain thanks to its camera mode. And finally, the last square to cross off is falling off the map. In basically every level in Astral Chain, there's some way to fall off the map, like the floor falling out from beneath you. Literally. And with that, we've completed the Backlog Bingo Challenge. Yippee! This was such a fun way to not only get back to making videos, but to also clear out more of my backlog. After clearing out those 4 games, let's see how many games left I have sitting and collecting dust on the backlog. Oh, no worries, it's just a casual 249 games left to complete. Seems like I have a lot of these Backlog Bingo videos to make, don't I? Speaking of, if you would like me to do this again, let me know in the comments below. If you have any ideas for bingo squares as well, be sure to mention that too. I had a really good time doing this, and I hope to make more videos just like this for you all soon. See y'all hopefully in the next one. Bye!